Welcome back, dude and dudettes, to another wild episode of Send It Mate. We're here to talk about all things hunting and outdoors. And today, we've got something that'll keep your gear running smoother than a dingo's getaway.
That's right. Our show is brought to you by High Caliber, the gun and knife oil company that knows how to keep your firearms and blades in tip-top shape.
High Caliber is like the secret sauce for hunters, anglers, and outdoorsy folk everywhere. It's like the magic potion that makes your gun and knives happier than a dog with two tails.
You know, guys, I've been using High Caliber oil for a while now, and let me tell you, it's the duck's nuts. My rifle practically sings a lullaby when I take it out hunting.
And speaking of lullabies, ever tried sneaking up on a deer with a squeaky gun? It's a prime way to end up with no venison in the freezer. You'll be hungrier than a vegan at a bacon festival.
Absolutely. But with High Caliber oil, your gun will be quieter than a ninja in moonlight. You'll be stalking your prey with the grace and stealth of a mountain lion.
High Caliber doesn't just keep things quiet, it also prevents rust and corrosion, so you won't find your gear looking like it spent a season at the bottom of a creek.
That's right, and for you knife enthusiasts out there, High Caliber has got you covered too. Your trusty blade will slice through anything smoother than butter on a hot biscuit.
So, folks, don't let your gear become a rusty, squeaky mess. Head on over to highcaliber.com.au and grab a bottle of their oil today.
And if you use the code SENDITMATE at checkout, you'll get a special discount. I say again, use the code SENDITMATE for all your oil slick, stealthy hunting needs.
Thanks to High Caliber, you'll be sending it in style and silence.
So, gear up, oil up, and send it, mate. High Caliber, the ultimate oil for the ultimate hunter.
What's up, everyone?
What's up, what's up, what's up?
Hello!
Orion's back!
I'm back, bitches!
Holy shit.
Yay, random singing, go on.
The band is back
The
together.
band's back together. The band is back together. That's excellent. Yeah, it's been a while.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck me. The intro hasn't even finished and he's singing.
Yeah, straight singing will save your life, my friend. It's the antidote for sadness.
Good God.
I've had a couple of weeks off now. I'm come back all philosophical and shit. I climbed a mountain and did some meditation on a rock
Climbed.
inside of myself.
Is this how you're explaining your absence of 2 weeks? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. He climbed a rock.
I've seen some shit, man. No, for those following at home, I have been well.
You don't have to explain yourself.
No, I don't. I don't. But
You've been climbing a mountain.
I've been climbing a mountain.
Yeah.
Metaphorically.
Metaphorical mountain. I've been dealing with some things, some stuff.
I heard a rumour that you actually meditated for 72 hours straight.
Yeah, I did. I didn't eat anything or drink anything except for prune juice.
You said masturbated wrong.
You said
Oh, do you reckon you could crank for 72 hours? Dude,
Oh.
I'd have no dick left.
you'd need
I don't
some,
have
like,
enough dick to do in the first place.
There's not enough paw cream on the planet to deal with that.
It wouldn't be pleasant.
Oh, shit.
Well done for maintaining an erection that long, though.
Yeah,
It's a rubber band,
They
bro.
got pills for that.
No, just rubber band it.
Full disclosure, have you ever tried that shit?
It depends. Like, are you talking about just
It was a hair
shaft?
tie. Oh, you guys are fucked. Yeah.
Welcome back, Ryan. It's good to have you back.
Oh, I missed it. I really did. It's good to be back in black, if you know what I mean.
The circle is complete.
It is. It's a circle. It's never ending.
Sweet. Well, shall we get into POI this week?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Point of interest.
Oh, we should. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank
Caleb's been
What have we
splashing out some cash.
you. Not really. All right. Well, I've brought 2 items here. So, yes, I have been spending some cash, but not much. As is my
You've been frugal.
method.
Whoa.
So before the last hunt Ryan and I went on, I decided to buy a new stool.
For those playing at home, he's not talking about shit. He's talking about seating apparatus.
Straight away, my
I can
mind went to
produce them
shit.
free of charge, no problem.
I bought this quality shit.
Man, people sell shit on the side of the road for $5 a kilo. Like,
That's true.
When you go into this stool in a second, I just want to just say before you go into it, it's a mind fuck.
well, it was for you.
You got to see it
You gotta see
together.
it to believe it.
Yeah, all right, that's fair. I got to see it assembled and then I deconstructed it. And what it is
Let's just backtrack there. What do you mean mindfuck?
Oh my god, look at it.
Josh
Does that look
tried-
like a fucking stool?
Josh tried to assemble it and struggled for a while.
It's physics, bruh.
Oh, have you? Well,
All right, let me tell people what it is. All right, it's a stool which, now that we've been backpack hunting for a while, it is nice every now and then just to have a stool to be seated like a human and not sit in the dirt.
Luxury.
So we have been taking just a 3-legged stool with us. Mine has come to the end of its life. The material's starting to push its way through. Oh, sorry, the metal rods are starting to push its way through the material. I don't particularly want to be sitting there and have a metal rod tear through my ball sack.
I like to think of it as an exciting part of the adventure. Mine's doing the same
having your
thing.
nutsack torn.
At any moment, I could have my arsehole penetrated by an aluminium pole. It just adds that extra.
it
Good
does-
to be alive.
It would keep me on my toes. But
Yeah.
I thought, no, I'll go buy a stool. So presented with the options, I can go spend $15, $20 on the same thing again. But I did happen to spot this Explore Planet Earth brand Pegasus stool, which comes in orange and grey.
If you're listening to this, Google it and it is a mindfuck.
Yeah, Pegasus stool by Explore Planet Earth, which I got from Snowy's Outdoors.
Although you look at it, it looks like a bit of a diaper, like a nappy.
Well, that's because the actual fabric seat part wraps around the frame.
Like
And
a
it actually
nappy.
collapses down inside itself. So all up, the whole thing is about 30 centimetres long. So it's perfect for backpack hunting.
You wish it was 30 centimetres long.
Oh, jeez.
It's all about the girth these days.
So it fits in your backpack pocket quite easily. It's very lightweight. Josh is having a laughing fit on the side. But yeah, and so it's sort of got like a midsection where the legs can pull out and then they reinsert in a different hole at an angle, and then the parts that hold up the seat collapse down inside the legs. You got to see it. It's too hard to explain.
Yeah, there's.
I think you should put a photo on our Insta page, man.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'll plug it a bit, but it's really lightweight. It's actually very comfortable, and
It's definitely not going to hold your weight, I don't reckon.
well, it actually says it's rated to 100 kilos in the box, but on this little tag on the product itself, it's rated to 120 kilos.
And how much do you weigh? I mean, you don't have to tell us that if you don't want to. but
121
we're just gonna
kilos.
assume that you're a fat fuck.
Okay, so I don't exceed 120, but I do exceed 100.
Oh,
But it took my weight fine.
was it a long way?
So it was actually, quite comfortable, really lightweight.
It's got a lot of play in it when it's put together.
Yeah, so when you're seated on it, you can actually wiggle around a bit. It's got a bit of flex.
I don't know if that's
basically.
a good
Just
thing.
a little bit.
Yeah, like a lot.
Wiggle it.
It's
Just a little bit.
I like to wiggle.
It's different. We'll put a photo up on Instagram.
Yeah, we will. So it's just a different product I wanted to try. It was $30. I'm like, well, it's not too much more.
Ryan hasn't seen it. Let's video Ryan putting
Ryan
it
has
together.
seen it because we went on a
he
hunt
has?
together.
Oh, you saw it.
Yeah, I bought it before our last hunt.
Ah, right. I thought you bought it after.
No.
Oh,
So Ryan's
apologies.
seen it. I was using it while we were out together,
Ah, that sucks.
Also,
but I didn't ask him to assemble it.
I could do that. It's like a puzzle, man.
I did it as well, but it just was a mindfuck.
You're just terrible at puzzles.
It was just like, oh my god, this is
Mindfuck
stupid.
is just a word people use for shit that they can't do. That's a mindfuck. That's code for I just didn't do it.
All right. Well, so yeah, we'll chuck a photo of that up. On to product number 2, which arrived in the post today.
How many products are there? How many things did you buy? Oh, okay,
This is 2 of 2.
Okay.
I bought myself a Vanguard Quick Stick, which is a monopod for resting your rifle on. And I did that as a result of our last hunt, where I ended up using a stick where I was seated waiting for some deer to come out of a bit of a thoroughfare in the bush.
Oh, yeah.
And I sort of made a stick for myself just to be comfortable in a seated position, ready to take a shot.
Leaned up against. You're sitting back against a tree.
Yeah, I was sitting against a tree, had a forked stick there with my rifle on it, ready to just basically lean up into position and take a shot.
I thought that was a monopod that you had.
No, that was
It was just a stick. So you actually had a literal stick for your stick.
which prompted me to go, I kind of have been thinking about getting one for a while because I actually do have a natural tremor in my left hand. So I like to rest against a tree or a fence post or take a knee.
Do you know what the rating is for that on the Richter scale?
I was going to say it's a condition after he did a 72-hour wank.
Remember that?
Residual muscle memory.
Remember that earthquake we had a few years ago in Adelaide?
Nothing happened. The memes for that. Oh my God, there's like a plastic garden chair that's fallen over as the earthquake of 2013 or whatever.
We will rebuild.
We will rebuild. Yeah.
However, it's annoying enough for me to go, well, actually, it would be handy to have a monopod. So I thought I'd have a cheeky check of what was going on. I didn't want to spend a heap of money because you can spend a fair bit on bipods and monopods. So what I was after was a lightweight, compact one that I could, again, fit in a backpack for hunting. And this one, again, we're talking about 30 centimetres long when it's collapsed up. It actually comes with a handy belt pouch. So just, put this on your belt.
It's like a canvas thing.
So it folds up. It's in 4 sections. It's got your little Y section to rest your rifle on.
It's like a tent
It looks
pole.
sexy though. Like it's like a dark. It's like
Yeah,
it's a matte black finish on it. It looks sexy as fuck. It looks like something Batman would have in his belt.
Yeah, so once you actually unclip it, you can just flick it out and it all extends out and the sections go inside each other.
Sometimes I get in trouble
It's like a tent pole.
Flicking it out.
Yeah, kind of like a
putting
tent
it
pole.
inside
So
things.
all the sections are held together with an elastic.
Caleb's trying to ignore
I'm trying
so
to.
badly.
You're just walking head
You
first
forget I have
into 'em.
children. I'm good at tuning out annoying noises. So the main body of the stick is actually coated in what they call Whispertech coating. So it doesn't actually. It sounds more like wooden sticks, if you can hear that. If you actually bang it around a bit, I feel like I did some sort of interpretive.
What are you? Are you like a primary school music teacher? Or?
Yeah, but it's lightweight as fuck, basically.
Yeah, it's good.
And
It does look good, actually.
there's 3 models. The one that I bought here is the 38-inch, which in metric is like 95 centimetres. So it's perfect if you're sitting or if you quickly take a knee and put your rifle up. There are a 49-inch and a 63-inch. So 63 inches basically you can just stand.
Yeah.
But I didn't want something that long.
So where would people, if people were looking at these, where would
Well,
they?
I bought this off X Hunter,
Ah.
reduced to $27 from $74. So I could not buy it basically.
So, but also just so that those following at home know, we don't get paid for this. This isn't a paid endorsement or anything like that. This is just shit that Caleb bought on the internet.
I'm just trying shit to try and improve my
Yeah, man.
life.
Well, if you can find things that work for you and we can get that information out to those guys looking for something, I think that's
It's just handy. And a lot of people go, oh, you shooting sticks, what do you want that for?
Making yourself stable to take the best shot possible. I think that's should be a priority of a hunter, man. And if it means that you've got to work around an injury or you got your tremor, buy some sticks. Damn.
Yeah. So I'm just trying to counteract something that annoys the shit out of me when I'm trying to take a steady shot freehand.
eliminate your variables.
Yeah. So it's relatively inexpensive. It's lightweight. It fits in my backpack. Ticks all the boxes.
Makes Batman
Fits on your
jealous.
belt, which I think is a better one. Like just being able to put that on your belt, and put it like behind you on like.
Well,
like
it's
on your
out of
ass
sight,
or
out of
something
mind
like
until
that,
you
yeah.
need it, and then you
Yeah.
just reach back and grab it, basically. So
Yeah, pretty much. It's not bad.
Not bad, good size. All right.
there you go.
Oh, that's quality. We'll for those playing at home, you
Oh, I just missed that.
Oh, that's definitely going to become a T-shirt one day.
Yeah, we
Definitely
were
gonna
talking
be a
about this
t-shirt.
today, actually.
Yeah.
We're going to make you a camp mum fucking shirt and you a those playing at home shirt.
Yeah, and yours can just be some
Totally fucking awesome.
Yours would be just like a scrambled bunch of letters that has some sort of meaning in the army that no other
Dyslexia.
No one knows what it means. Use guys. Use guys.
Actually, we spoke about this, about doing some beanies
Yeah.
today.
We did.
Yeah, maybe doing some beanies.
It looks like it's something that we're going to be looking at quite seriously. So if you guys are interested in getting your hands on some sweet Send It Mate merch
Or a beanie.
Talk about a beanie. Let us know. We would like a little bit of feedback to find out what the numbers would be if we did go down that avenue.
Yeah. Send us some feedback.
Send us some feedback.
Send it, mate.
Just be like, shit, or good.
Nah, fuck it.
That's all we need.
Yeah, I mean, the overheads are just too much.
I mean, any suggestions about what you'd like to see as merch
That's true.
as well? Like, just hit us up. We'll listen. We'll talk to you.
We're definitely
we'll
gonna-
engage.
Set of
Yeah.
fucking throwing axes.
Send it, mate.
Oh,
Dildos.
Send It Mate dildos, but
Personalised. for
double
each-
ended.
No, just each of us.
What is it?
What, you want to take a mold of your
Yeah,
dick?
have you seen that? Have you seen that movie Bad Neighbours with Zac Efron?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's something they do. The
Was it Clone Willy or whatever it's called? With you get it and you make a dildo out of your own dick. Is that what you're talking about?
yeah, basically, and that's what they did to raise money for their frat house.
Yeah. That's definitely.
Yours would be
Wow.
a chode, so probably don't be a real good seller.
We all know that they'd have to be in camo, right? We're not doing just like
Where's the dick?
yeah,
No dildo.
camo dildo. There is definitely a niche market for that. All right. Well, that takes us to this is
That doesn't. Just
No, it
we
doesn't.
got there
This
because
doesn't.
we're trying
That was a
we're trying to
terrible segue.
exit stage left right now.
terrible segue there. The topic for today, which is probably a bit more applicable to myself, I would say, given the last couple of weeks I've had off, M.I.A, missing in action. I think, Josh, that you would know what that means, wouldn't you? M.I.A? Is that right? Missing in action?
Yeah.
Is that the right?
Missing in action, yeah.
Is that the right initialism? I think is what it's called, not an acronym.
Yeah, well, it's an acronym, that's for sure.
Okay.
So you've got first topic breakdown, Josh.
Well, straight up, I thought about my career in the army, actually, and when I was overseas. And it just so happened when we were over in Afghanistan that a fella by the name of Bowe Bergdahl actually went missing in 2009 to 2014. So he went missing in action.
Aussie, American.
No, so he was a US. He was in the US Army.
Hey, what is there like a length of time that he was missing in action?
Yeah, so from 2009 to 2014.
5 years.
So yeah, 5
He
years.
was off the grid for 5 years.
Yeah. And the only reason why I thought about this in the topic actually was because in the one of the briefings that you get over there, they actually went through it. They're like, oh, if you see this dude and they show you a photo and that, yeah, look, he's part of the military and he's missing, blah blah blah.
Well,
And there was
if you spot
photos.
him-
There was photos scattered on like all the bigger bases of him around the place, and like a
Like missing person.
sort of style.
Is that was that out of concern of him having turned or
No. So there's heaps of stories that pretty much
Still need that sneeze button.
were told, and I don't know what story is real, but when we were over there, we were actually told that he was a deserter. And some of the news reports that are online actually say that one night he packed up his gear, put it in a nice pile, left a note, and just hopped the Hesco wall and went walking.
Oh, weird.
And then the Taliban caught him and he was held for 5 years. I do believe he did convert to Islam in that time. But yeah, and naturally things go. He was, when he was found, and brought back to the States and debriefed and that, he was he told them that he was tortured and put in a cage and this and that for the time that he was over there because he tried to escape. So he was punished. But
So
he was also charged when he got back stateside.
charged with what?
Desertion.
So that story about him packing all his shit up and hopping the fence, that's actually what happened.
I think there could be some. Well, I don't want to say, but I think there could be some truth to that because he was charged and found guilty for that charge. So yeah, it's a bit of a weird sort of topic.
Is that common occurrence to your knowledge of guys that just
No, so you sort of try to stay in groups when you're over there in your section with your buddy. So you always try to have eyes on each other. Obviously, that can't always happen. So if that doesn't happen, you keep communication over comms, and then you try to, as quickly as possible, get visual on each other to stop these sorts of things happening. Because there's no doubt, man, if they caught you, for like publicity, they'll cut your head off on like Al Jazeera or something, man. Like,
all
that's kind of piss.
old like in all the movies. That's the thing now, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, obviously there's some truth to all that shit, and then there's some fucking Hollywood shit. To it all. But it just straight away brought me to missing in action. Now I don't know of any Australian that went missing in action. I don't know. I don't think there is any. Because we put systems in place to just prevent it. But yeah,
is it a system that's designed to pick up on potential runners, or is it?
Well, actually, so in the article and in the so they have his court case online, and in it goes into his like him as a person, and he was found to be a bit of a loner. And didn't get along with his members of his section and platoon and things like that. And there was a tipping point when he was overseas that he did actually spend more time with locals than he did with his own section.
Okay, so that's that. I'm assuming that'd be like a sign.
So, you're starting to paint a picture and things like that. He did also tell someone just before leaving for deployment that he said, "Oh, if this deployment's fucking shit, I'm going for a walk." Like, I'm going to fuck off, like over there. And out of his gear, the only thing that he also took with him was his compass. So it sort of paints this picture. I don't know what's true and what's not. There's a few other articles that also say that he fell behind in a patrol and was captured by the Taliban. There was another one saying that he was captured from a fucking shitter. Like taking a shit and they caught him. The falling behind in a patrol, I don't actually believe that, because realistically you're only as fast as your slowest man. So his secco would have been like pulling everyone back.
Isn't that the US mantra? They like never leave a guy behind.
Well, it is. But it is a bit of a mantra,
that with the look on
but
your
you
face
you can't sort of like if someone doesn't want to, if someone wants to like piss off, they're gonna make it happen, aren't they?
Yeah. Well, I mean that from the perspective of him falling behind, in the
it's just more how the section dynamics work. So you rely on each gun in the section. So you sort of your capability is only as great as your weakest link. And the Secco would have known that and worked that into his patrol. Having said that,
for those playing at home though, what is a Secco? You said that a few
section
times.
commander.
Section commander.
Yeah,
so the bloke in charge of the guys.
Yeah, so you got Secco, your sergeant, your platoon commander, so on and so forth. Just a bit of rank structure and things.
So what does he say he was doing for 5 years?
This is actually part of the story. He was released in a prisoner exchange. So the US actually released 5. It was supposed to be 6, but it was 5 high-ranking Taliban officials that were being held in Guantanamo Bay, and they released those 5 members for Bowe.
That just sounds like if you look at the head numbers of that, it'd have to be a more calculated decision than just one of our guys is worth 5 of theirs.
I'm presuming there was a fuckload of people like negotiating over all of this, like a bit of communication between, say, the propaganda team for the Taliban
Oh yeah, and it'd be almost like a business transition, I'd imagine, where everyone tries to get the most that they can out of it.
And he was missing. I don't know where he was held, but he actually went missing near the Pakistan border. So if he crossed into Pakistan, like the Taliban took him into Pakistan, it then becomes a fucking political nightmare. So it's not like, you can go invading.
Yeah, well, that's. I was just going to say that the politics behind that decision would be very, very interesting to be a fly on the wall to find.
Yeah,
because that to me that doesn't add up. Like 5 high-ranking guys from the Taliban for one US soldier.
It just shows who puts more of a value on life, though. So flip it the other way around. And if if the coalition forces wanted, so what's the scenario? We get one back for their 5. If they wanted one back and we demanded 5.
Yeah, but that to me, the maths isn't right on that and it doesn't align with.
Yeah, but Caleb's right. It's about how the value
of life. Yeah, that's true. But we know that politics takes precedence over life in America.
Yeah, but could you imagine if the US had said no, and then this dude is then killed on fucking
exactly.
Yeah, but that would be a political nightmare. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like it's not about his life; it's about saving face and the politics behind it, and the impact that would have on the current standing political fucking team or side or whoever the fuck is in charge making that decision.
Yeah,
and the political impact that would have. So it's not about the person's life; it's about the impact that would have on their power in their own country.
Nah, I think it's just down to the value of a life. So you want one of your guys back, they're demanding 5 of theirs. That's the price you pay.
Yeah, that's
if they weren't willing to pay that price and they killed Bowe,
I think if he wasn't, it'd be interesting to know if he was present in the media at the time of that negotiation.
Well, the plot thickens, actually, man. There were several American soldiers killed in the Tika province. I don't know if I pronounced that right. That they actually blame Bowe for. So, like the soldiers that were killed in that province where he was M.I.A. They actually blame him for that. Like whether that's him telling them their patrol routes and things like that, I don't know.
So, that's the other.
The whole thing sounds pretty murky.
Yeah,
it does.
I think there's a bit of scapegoat happening, but as I said, I don't know.
Well, it's a liability, isn't it? Because any soldier in the hands of the enemy is a liability in terms of sensitive information and all that sort of stuff, as well as the political implications.
So with the Worth, the 5 guys getting done for one, if they're blaming him for the soldiers that have lost their life since his disappearance, there's going to be a want from those soldiers' family to bring him back to then put him on trial.
Yeah, that's true.
As well. Yeah, so there's going to be like multiple sides, like firing at all the guys making.
That's why I still think
decisions.
it was a political decision, not a decision based on the value of life.
Yeah. And I think you'll find there's a bit of a mix on it all, man. That and the whole mantra of never leave a man behind. You've got to install into your soldiers some form of confidence that you're not going to get fucked in the
ass. That's true. But I mean, that you say that, but then history tells us that America has had a just repeat attitude of throwing more bodies than bullets that the enemy has.
And you win war by boots on the ground, man. So.
Yeah, that's it. But I would say that Australia's tactics are testament to the fact that your smarts will definitely pay off better than having more bodies on the ground than the enemy does.
I'd disagree because quite simply our footprint over there was smaller in the general military sense, not the special forces sense. Our special forces were smashing it over there. But in our general military sense, our footprint was considerably smaller than what America's footprint was. So they were they were covering a lot more like land.
What do you mean by footprint?
Yeah, like so we're working in tandem with them
Yeah.
as a smaller specialized force.
Yeah.
They're the ones who instigated the friggin' war.
Yeah,
And they're the ones with all the boots on the ground. So they've just got numbers, whereas
They need the numbers to cover the ground. So you need basically to saturate an area to hold it.
they can afford to
Oh,
do
no,
that. Could
I
you imagine
understand that.
Australia instigating a war
But I mean, this
with
is
our force? I don't think so.
I get what you're saying. I get and understand that. What I'm not talking about who had the most numbers there. I'm talking about the general tactics that they used and the quality of training that the troops have.
See, man, I've worked with dudes over there, and the US dudes are fucking switched. They are fucking great. They
Like
are
the SF dudes or the general?
like just general your Marines and your army.
feel like
guys.
they live and
They're fucking
breathe it.
switched. Man.
Who has the better training? The Australian guys
It's
or
all
the US
it's all
guys?
pretty. It's actually all pretty standard.
I mean, I
man.
might be approaching this with a bias, which is
Yeah, look, I'll cut all like myths out there. It's all pretty standard, and the Americans are fucking smart, and they are fucking switched on, man. They are fucking great dudes. They are absolutely good dudes, man.
the dudes. Like, are you talking about this in the sense of the guys that you've met, or are you talking about in the sense of the greater machine that is the
The
army?
guys that
Because
I've
if you've
worked
got-
with and what I've seen, there's been cases that I know over there where Australian pilots have not flown into an area because it's been too dangerous, and the Yanks, man, they'll just be like, "Yeah, sick. Where do you want us to land?" And they're just smart. Look, as a whole, from what I've seen and experienced, I just rate them. They're absolutely.
So maybe
awesome.
that's what we're doing here. We're getting rid of that because speak to most Australians that have an association with the not people that have served, but people that have got an association with the military. The guys that I personally have spoken to, it's a bit anecdotal, is the general consensus is that
Ryan's back, everybody.
yeah, I'm back, everybody. Yeah, like the Yanks, and this might be stemming from the previous, like the Vietnam War and other things that have contributed.
I know
to
where
the
you're
history.
coming from. You're coming from like the Hollywood portrayal of like the dumb American grunt. But
Yeah, look-
surely that's just from sheer weight of numbers. You
Yeah,
always-
well, there's that, but there's also because I've got family that's in the army, and I've got like my family has history associated with the military and special forces and that sort of stuff as well, and they have the strong opinion that the Americans are just dumb
Nah,
brutes.
man. Nah.
Not like the Americans in the sense that the people are idiots, but the training that they receive and the way that the military arm operates, it's more about brute force than it is about being that surgical knife.
Nah, when you're getting into like doing like a precision sort of thing, special forces around the world, they're all quite up there, and their capability is very, very close to each other. Obviously, some people do some things better. Like we live in a very remote country in desert. We do desert very well. We do in comparison. But having said that, as a general whole, in your general infantry and general war fighters, man, they are smart. They are, and training is pretty close to being standard. The only thing that really differs is the equipment that we use. So for the equipment that differs, you've got to have obviously a way to use that. So if we're using a different piece of equipment that they're not using, they're not going to know how to use it. Vice versa, there is something that they do something like a little bit different, as in their infantry, they'll have their gunner is a gunner. So their gunner progresses from, say, like a light machine gun, and they can go up to, your Mag 58s and then your 50 cows and things like that. And your general guy can't just jump in his position and use one.
I think we might have touched on this before, where there's not an interchangeable role.
Yeah, not really. It still is, and because they're professionals, you got to remember they're still professionals. So in a professional setting, they're going to learn their mate's role, whether they have to or whether they choose to on their own part. But for Australia, we can use in our section all of our weapons. It's all pretty standard. So if the gun goes down, like a machine gun in your section is your main support weapon. So if that goes down and the guy that goes down that's using it, someone needs to put their star away, sling it, and use the gun because the gun has a greater firepower.
Yeah.
And it's simple as that. And that's how we work. In the States, I believe it's a bit more specialised. They go into okay, I'm a gunner. That's my job.
But that also mean that they would, like, the way that I would look at that is the gunner would know his weapon more well-rounded.
Oh, man, I've seen some dudes in the Australian in the Australian Army that can't fucking rock a gun, and you're like, dude, you're fucking serious? It's your job. Fucking hell.
Well, that's the thing. Like, if you're a gunner in America, that's what it sounds like you're saying. If you're a gunner in America, you're a gunner. That's like your identity. You know the ins and outs of everything.
They would run that fucking machine gun like a champ. They would. Yeah. There'd be no fucking around. There'd be no, what do I do? You know, when you pick up a new rifle, you pick up your mate's rifle and you sort of like, you're trying to see the characteristics before you start working it or have a shot. So they don't look like a dumb fuck.
Yeah. Where's the safety? How does the action work? Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah. But, you know, as a whole, like the general infantry guy can use, can get behind a gun or get
Well, they have numbers, so they can afford to have lots of specialists.
Yeah,
whereas
definitely.
we have to just be able to cover all bases.
That's true.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I feel like I'm a little bit further educated.
Enlightened.
Realising my own.
It's pretty boring, but that's me. Missing in action.
Well, I can't say I'd heard of, what's his name?
Bowe.
Bow.
Fucking
No.
Bowe.
I don't know.
No, I can't say I've heard of him. So there you go. Thank you for bringing that to my
Just to clarify,
Trivia.
it was Bowe
Bergdahl.
Bergdahl.
Yeah, that's interesting though. I wonder how many of those stories exist of a guy like that. He's obviously received a great deal of media attention, given that there's various stories about it. And I do always wonder how many of those stories don't make it to the headlines, and the guys don't.
Oh, look, man, there'd be. I don't know about missing people, but there's shit that look you're not going to hear
With that number of personnel on the ground and just human nature, there would have to be some fuckery that goes on.
Oh, bulk fuckery, fuckery everywhere.
Fuckery everywhere. Fuckery for days.
I'm sure the Americans jerk off on picket as well.
That's true.
Yeah, fucking A.
Every
You're
guy-
bored and you've got to stay awake in the middle of the night and it's fucking cold. What are you going to do? Crank one in?
Every gunner has figured out how to turn his machine gun into a wank machine.
If you blue lighted half of the weapon systems in the army, they'd just be covered in jizz.
I love my weapon. I love my weapon.
I hope not, but
Boys will be
there'd be some residual fucking jizz on there, that's for sure.
Well, that sounds like the optimal moment to move on.
Oh shit! It depends on the quality of the gun lube, I guess.
Well, actually, we use
Diesel.
a dry. We actually use a dry. We use both oil, and we use a dry oil. Yeah,
What? I don't even know what that is.
it is
is it? What is a
graphite
dry oil?
powder.
A
dry oil. Yep.
It's like dry shampoo for your gun.
You shampoo your dick
Oh, it's like. I mean,
Have you ever heard of dry shampoo?
for your dick.
For your hair, you cockhead.
Well, your euphemism was your gun.
depends what it's a
Let's
pump
just
action.
move on because we're all confused.
I like the graphite powder. I know what that is. I use that on my tools.
Yeah. Graphite powder. It's good.
All right, Ryan, what do you
All right.
got?
So
M.I.A.
M.I.A. So I just want to go back to a couple of weeks ago
When you went M.I.A.
when I went M.I.A. There's a long story and there's many tears, so we won't go into that.
It's a deep rabbit hole.
It is a massive rabbit hole. But M.I.A. I want to talk about our hunting trip to Victoria, and
Oh God.
well, it's
Which one?
This should be an ND.
the latest one. It should be an ND. It should be.
The one you and I went on.
Yeah. It's a couple of weeks back. Me and Caleb.
He didn't go MIA as a result of our hunting trip, by the way.
Caleb heard him.
Caleb,
Where did you touch me?
how do I point to the heart on the doll?
The heart's located in the
touched
penis
Yeah,
area.
the funny thing about my heart is it's located on my cock. Oh, can we edit that one out? No. No.
I'm leaving it in for all the listeners.
All the listeners. Well, so let me set the scene.
listeners. Hurry up. What do we got?
So we were out in Victoria, right? We booted it over there for a weekend, and we were hunting grounds that we'd been to before, which was fine. We'd seen deer. We knew roughly where they were. What I didn't know was that what?
Oh, I just know where this is
Just
going.
a preemptive laugh.
Preemptive laugh.
Yeah.
What I didn't know was that where we'd set up was the wrong spot for during the day. So the M.I.A. here is a deer missing in action. So this I'm going to start at the beginning here and tell the story. So, have you ever taken?
Are you laughing because you're laughing? Yeah, I know why you're laughing. Keep going, Ryan.
I don't know why he's laughing. But
Just bear in mind we've had 2 podcasts while you've been away.
okay, and I haven't heard them, so I'm probably guessing that 2 of them are probably hanging shit on me.
I feel like you're about to tell a story we've told, but go.
Oh,
we want to.
is this a selfie story?
We want to hear.
You've already told.
We've already
the
told
fucking
it.
Story.
Yeah.
This is the downside of not telling each other. But no, this is the prime opportunity for you to give it to us from your angle.
Well, this is the thing, right?
What indeed did happen?
Well, I was sitting there
Allegedly.
I was sitting there watching the tree line because I was actually by default because I'd been watching. There's like a fence line straight down, and then there's the fire track that goes adjacent, like parallel to the fence line. That's where we'd set up to watch the deer. There was a shit ton of track down there, and we were on a rise. So we'd taken the high ground, looking down, looking at where all the tracks were.
And by we, you mean you.
And by we, I mean me. Well, that's what we'd done previously. But when I got there, I just couldn't be fucked sitting in the mud. So I went and sat sort of off the track because the track came down and there was a bit of a like a dip. So I sat in that and ended up facing the scrub line. So 90 degrees from the track,
You're having a fap, weren't you?
potentially.
I get a feeling you got real lucky. Like
I think
real
I did.
lucky.
It was like right place, right time. I was taking photos of birds and I'd been sitting there for about 45 minutes in silence. And I was taking photos of everything.
Including his dick.
Including my
Whilst
penis.
fapping.
Whilst fapping.
cheeky vid.
Cheeky vid. Yeah.
Fans only.
So that later on I can wank over myself wanking.
Oh, who gets off fucking in front of a mirror? Like you look at yourself in the mirror, you know, like yeah.
Only you, my friend.
Wow.
What the actual fuck?
Wow. I think that is a new low for the podcast. Do you have like a full body, like a full height mirror that you just get naked and just rip your cock in front of?
I'm trying to think of the right word for being aroused by yourself.
Flex and then what is it? Is it American Psycho? The dude's like fucking. He's like looking at himself in the mirror, flexing his arms. He's like, it's hip to be square.
You must be unisexual, maybe.
Dun.
Omnisexual. No, that's
not omni. That means you're
that's
sexual everywhere.
yeah, wrong word.
I don't know.
I really want to go into this, but I just need to have
So
some.
you get hard over seeing yourself get hard.
Is that why you've always
weird
got
sort
your
of
shirt off? Is that because you're just horny the whole fucking time?
Weird catch-22.
The sun
always turning yourself on.
Do you know what I've just realised? When
What?
the sun goes down, we're surrounded by mirrors. That explains why his nipples are hard because we've got windows everywhere. So it's dark outside. Great.
I should shut the blind.
You should shut the blinds.
All right. Anyway, you were going. All right. So
we've digressed.
we've digressed.
So anyway, the way
back
they
to you
come out.
wanking by the log.
Wanking. Well, I wasn't actually wanking, but some of us were off wanking at probably around approximately the same time.
Oh, were you, Caleb? You having a crank?
What?
Was that your first bush crank? What? Was that your first bush crank?
Sorry, what? I'm a little deaf in my left ear.
It was.
That's private information.
That's for those playing at home. That's a yes.
Secretly, he was filming himself.
Now there is a tree out there somewhere in the bush that has got a lot of protein.
It's blooming. Hey, fucking go on. Let's go.
Come on, let's go.
Shit.
Let's go.
So I'm sitting there, bored as fuck, taking pictures of birds and stuff. I'm taking myself a selfie, and I see out the corner of my eye a bit of white just flash. I was like, oh, there's got to be a bird. And I looked again and I saw the arse end of a deer just as it disappeared behind a tree. I went, that's fucking stupid. I've just missed a deer running across the road. Turns out it wasn't across the fire track. It was on the deer track that runs around and like beelines around across the front of the scrub. And then I go, oh, okay. And this is over the space of a couple of minutes. Fucking around my phone, and I look up, and there's 3 deer looking at me. Like just yeah. I was like pants down, caught in the action.
Phone in one hand, dick in the other.
Yeah. Rifles on the ground, and I'm like, which one? How do I?
Which one do I shoot?
Which one do I shoot?
That deer you ate on the weekend, Caleb, for Mother's Day, that was killed with semen.
That was
an excessive amount of semen.
That wasn't even the deer that I saw.
That was the one he missed.
So I did the old reach for the rifle, like smooth as fuck. The muscle memory kicked in just from putting fucking bullets on steel, and perfect shot. Felt good on the bottom of the breath out. Just cycled, took another one. Fucking excellent. Oh yeah, I did.
Go on.
But so what happened was there was a fallow in there was one fallow, and I can't remember what species the other two were. I had a mental blank.
I got a feeling that'd all be fallow.
No, they weren't all fallow. They definitely weren't.
I don't reckon they were sambar. You said they were sambar at the time, but I doubt whether sambar are that far west in big.
They were definitely a grey colour because I was focused on the fallow because it's a lighter colour. The other two were grey.
Yeah, but fallow can be grey.
It definitely wasn't fallow. No fucking way.
Sure it wasn't a goat.
Well, I could see red being out there, but I don't think I could see sambar.
No. Anyway, and this is like all in the space of me seeing the 3 of them and then going, oh, fuck, so I'll take a shot. So I took the shot, felt good, heard the thud of like round hitting flesh, and the deer, like, it took a couple of steps back and then fucking piss bolted. So I went into crazy Ryan mode and went, I'm going to chase that fucking thing. And I ran for what turns out to be about a kilometre again. I did it again. I just chased the deer. And I, like, to the point where, and I was, like, he was slowing down. Like, I had hit him and he was hurting. And I was slowing down as well because I'm just not fit anymore.
You were following blood as well, weren't you?
I was
Still trying to pull his pants up.
I was running along. My rifle didn't have a sling on it, so I had it on one arm, and I was trying to pull my pants up, and I was tripping over shit, and my belt buckle wouldn't go, and that whole thing. He was moving quick, like he was bounding quick. So I had him in a line of sight, and he was probably 20 meters in front of me, and then was progressively slowing down. And then we got to a fork. This is after I ran for a good probably 5 minutes. Now that I'm thinking about it, I covered a fair bit of ground. And then I've looked down to jump over a log, and there's just as the deer's come to a fork in the trails, and I've looked down, looked back up, and he's gone. And then I spent the next 15, it's probably longer than that, probably, I don't know, when did I call you? After you heard the shot?
No, I asked you directly after I heard the shots. Shots, plural.
Yeah.
And then you said,
oh, because I took a follow-up shot.
Yeah, I didn't come back. I didn't come back to you for like another hour. That's when you actually got one.
Because I got back and sat down. So I chased him. I looked for blood, looked for everything, and then it started raining. And then it was like, I was fucked by then. Like, there was no way there was blood anywhere for that, which I felt terrible, still feel terrible. Because I know, and I went out the following day after speaking to you, like you said, look for crows, birds in the air and stuff. We didn't really see anything.
Yeah, if the canopy's thick, there won't be birds there. But like, you might get lucky if it died in a bit of a clearing. But the birds will pick it up pretty quick.
Oh, dude, there's a wedgie in the area.
Oh, yeah. There was like fucking massive.
One or two, actually.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Big birds.
Well, they would have picked it up if it was in a clearing for sure.
Yeah.
Put it this way, the one he did get, everything was gone the next day, like entrails, head, everything was just gone
that's
from
like,
the spot we left it.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, dogs, you reckon?
Well, there's definitely dogs.
There's dogs in the area, but yeah.
It's probably old mate's dog, the farmer down the road.
I reckon that was a poacher, eh?
You You reckon?
Yeah, I don't reckon he was supposed to be there. Just the way, like, if he was supposed to be there, he would have been like, oh, yeah, some guys coming down the track.
Definitely
But
disappeared.
as soon as I raised those binos, he fucking ducked for cover.
It's funny that you mentioned that actually, because we've been out quite a few times now, and I'd say 8 times out of 10 I've seen and spoken to like your forestry guys and dwelt guys and all that.
Yep.
And one time I was out with Matt, and we were actually just walking back to camp, and we were walking back on the road because it started to get dark. Obviously, you're not allowed to hunt half an hour before last light. You got to stop. Anyway, we were walking back. The forestry guys come up, and they pulled over, and we didn't like run off into the bush or anything. We just kept walking on the road.
Yeah.
And he's gone, oh, it's really funny because most guys, when they're out here, when they see us, they'll run into the bush, even though they're allowed to be out here.
Yeah, it's weird, eh?
Yeah.
And you're just like, okay.
No, if you're doing the right thing, then you got nothing to worry
Yeah,
about.
you got nothing to
That's
hide, do
exactly
you? Yeah. And they're pretty nice dudes anyway.
Yeah. Oh,
But if he was poaching, I got to fit, because there's that private land smack bang in the middle.
Where all the tea tree is.
that's
and
where
where
it
I've
was.
seen like 3 deer. So
Yeah.
Yeah, if he's over there, that's without a doubt across the border.
Well, before we saw him, he scared a mob of roos and a little spiker
Yeah.
towards us, and there was a spiker running amongst the mob of roos.
Which I saw on the way back. So we trekked down, and then I went back the same way. That same spiker was running the fence, walking the fence line, and came within 15 metres of me
Why didn't you shoot it?
because it was on the other side of the fence.
Oh, right. The wrong
Does he
side.
know that Ryan came within 15 metres of him?
Well, he knows it. He knows it.
Sexual innuendo.
Innuendo. Well, anyway, back to my story of wanking while looking at deer.
Back to the story we told last week or the week before.
Yeah, you stole it. And then did you tell them?
It was it was an ND. We used it for the ND 2 weeks ago.
You stole my ND.
No, I used your ND.
This is what happens in my absence.
Correct.
Yeah,
you were
pretty
too
much.
busy taking selfies / having a
Well, did you tell everyone and all the listeners and players at home that I sat down for another 15 minutes, then another deer came along and I shot it?
Yes.
yeah, like an hour later when I eventually got
It
to
wasn't
you.
an hour.
It was way later.
Oh, yeah, that was after I got back. When you got back
After you
to
got
me-
back, yeah.
Yeah, so I spent all that time looking for the one that I'd taken a not crack shot, but I had shot. And then after you left, it was like 15 minutes after you'd left, I took that.
Yeah, well,
second
once
shot.
I'd made my way to you, then I went in the direction of where you said the other two ran off. And then, 15 minutes later, you had another crack. But as we said 2 weeks ago on the podcast, Josh and I,
I wouldn't know. I wasn't there.
there was someone taking shots like in the distance, like 7 shots, one after the other. So we reckon, or I reckon, my personal hypothesis is that they pushed the deer in our direction. Hence
think
why
you're
you
right.
got a follow-up shot in the exact same spot, sitting by the same
I think
mound of
you're right.
dirt.
I would concur with that. I am of the high belief that there are different deer. For sure.
And then when I tried the same thing and holed up in the same spot early the next morning,
the bike riders come
the
through.
bike riders came through.
Fucking motorbike riders.
I mean,
Yeah.
good on you for pursuing your passion on your weekends, but my God,
Mm.
scare all the deer away.
I've died. What is? I don't know. I tried to
just
say
have a
3.
stroke?
Yeah, I did. I tried to say 3 different things at once. So what I find a little bit mind-boggling is that we go through all of this gun safety and the whole if there's people shooting in the area, don't go there. Blah 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 blah. But then you've got bike riders that ride the tracks that hunters are using to hunt deer. I mean, you can hear a bike; it makes sense. But if you've got people shooting in that area,
No, it just means you got to this is the responsibility of the shooter. You got to identify your target and beyond. That's what that comes down to.
yeah, that's definitely going to minimise the risk in it. But the risk alone, of
No, there
having-
should be zero risk. Because if you should not be shooting up on a crest, you shouldn't be shooting you know, like you should have a good backstop. It should be safe. You obviously got to use all your senses as well, your sight, your hearing.
Oh no, I definitely agree with you, but we're having to accommate the lowest denominator here as well.
That is the lowest denominator. I mean, it is.
No, that's the standard practice.
No, that's if you own a firearms license, you're going to know that because they're going to teach it on the fucking course.
Yeah, you're going to know that, but there's people that don't adhere to that. You and I both know that because there's also people that don't adhere to the rules of where you're allowed.
There's also motorbike riders that don't wear helmets.
Yeah, that's what I mean though. That's accommodating the lowest denominator. So it just seems surreal and like weird to me coming from South Australia that is like horse riders, bike riders, shooters, all in the same
Campers, bushwalkers.
Everyone. It feels weird.
No, so this actually, I think it's good because it's an example of a cohesive habitat that works fine, and there is no injury. I'm
not disagreeing with you. I think it's good as well.
But also, the national parks over there in Victoria, they actually open up parks that hunters can't go in. And they're generally actually the nicer spots, like Hell's Gap over in what's it called?
Grampians. Do you mean Halls Gap?
Halls Gap, sorry, Halls Gap in the Grampians.
Yeah, well,
you cannot hunt that.
Yeah,
you
look at more to explore, and you look at like any major national park, any area where there's a high concentration of campers or the general public. Generally not huntable.
Yeah, you can't do it. So they allow for both. So if you're riding on huntable land, you know it. You know it because you've looked up to see if you're allowed to ride there.
I'm not saying that you don't know. I'm just saying it feels weird.
It feels bizarre.
Because that amount of freedom isn't something that we have in South Australia.
That you're right.
It's public land only here.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. And but you should be getting into a stage where it's comfortable over there and enjoyable.
Oh, it is. Yeah,
I'm starting to feel normal.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
At the start, definitely. You're like, fuck.
We freaked the fuck out the first time we went over there. I brought a filing cabinet and all of my paperwork that I carried around everywhere, and I, took my bolt out of my rifle every time that I didn't want to shoot it, and just unnecessary stuff. It feels weird as a South Australian going over there, and what is normal. And what should be the norm? Like you're right. All of those shared spaces are actually safe.
Well, public land is your land.
That's right, and especially the way the terrain that they've allocated as shooting land isn't flat without trees. There's a shit ton of trees everywhere, or like scrub that you just cannot go through, and it's always hills,
which is generally where you can hunt.
Yeah. You can hunt in that. You can't walk in there at all, but you can go hunt in there.
Oh, you can walk in it. It's just going to take you 6 hours to go 50 metres.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. So
anyway,
hang on. How are you relating that to M.I.A?
The deer was missing in action.
I love our link sometimes.
No, I think that's more he's missing, presumed dead.
Missing, presumed dead. Is that what I don't even know, missing MPD? Is that a thing, or is it MIA until otherwise proven?
Let's just say you were mentally missing in action.
In so many ways.
Selfie/fap.
I just was not present. I was off with the fucking fairies. Neck minute, I had deer on me.
It's always away when you least expect it, man.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's move on. Caleb, what do you have for us?
All right, I'm going to go down one of my mental rabbit holes.
No, please. Please keep it light.
No, it's light. This is light and breezy. Josh, light and breezy. You'll love it. You'll love
Josh
it.
can't handle. Right? He can't handle the deep.
All right, this is not deep.
I'm simple. It's black and white.
This is not deep. This is not deep on any level. This is not philosophical. This is not mentally taxing.
Boring.
All right, M.I.A. First thing I thought of was the British rapper called M.I.A.
Who the fuck is that?
Oh, God. Here we go.
She's a chick.
Drawing the wrong bow again.
M.I.A. She's a British rapper. I can't remember her actual name, but she's called M.I.A.
Never heard of her.
Oh, she's not recent. It's like probably 5 or 6 years ago.
Her famous song is called Bad Girls. Live fast, die young. Bad girls do it well.
Never heard of her.
Anyway, I'm not playing it, and for copyright reasons, we cannot play it on the podcast.
Can you sing it for us? Just a couple of bars.
No, that's as far as you're going to get. But it's got like a Middle Eastern like ding 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 ding.
I still don't. I can't. It's like Punjabi. Is that the?
No. Anyway, the whole reason I bring this up is because I used to work with someone who would use that as their pump up song every fucking day to the point where I was like ready to grab her speakers and throw them across the fucking room, because if she was about to go in an awkward meeting where she needed to pump herself up, she'd play this song by Emma.
Kudos to that woman. She found her like safe space to be like power to the woman, and you were like, yep, no.
She also had like motivational posters in her cubicle to like.
Well, that's a strong no from me.
Anyway, so
Jeez.
2 parts, right, on this progression.
Progression or digression?
Let's hope it's
No, the progression of this thought pattern. Right?
Oh, here we go. Is it
M.I.A, Bad Girls, pump up song. Do you have a pump up song?
It changes, yeah.
All right.
At the moment, it's Astronaut.
What? You like astronauts?
We listened to fucking
Oh, by Masked Wolf,
yeah,
but the rock version by Last Night.
yeah.
Cool. All
Is that the one we
that's
just
your-
listened to?
Yes, that's your pump
Oh,
up song.
that is sick.
Ryan, do you have a pump up song?
My pump up song at the moment.
Pump up the jam, pump it up.
I don't know, man. Like I'm at the moment, my playlist is very much
Smooth jazz.
it is. It is.
God.
Smooth jazz, classical, like
Chop your dick off and throw it in the bin.
bands from the 60s and 70s. But then I've just got like just this hardcore song that just inserts itself in there and like fuck you.
Which is
I don't know, Right Side of the Bed by a Tree is definitely up there for me.
okay, good one. I have 2. One is Rollin' by Limp Bizkit, which has been pretty much my pump up song
Yes.
since I was 13 years of age.
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
And the other one is Karma by Parkway Drive,
Solid.
which has a sick drum intro, which gets me hard.
Do you know what?
Oh, but that's allowable. But seeing yourself in the mirror isn't. Oh, okay, thanks. Fuck yous.
Yeah, dude. You are so shallow.
I'm responding to someone else or something else, not responding to myself.
I'm responding to the reflection in the mirror.
Respect yourself.
Anyway, go on.
I mean,
Just
do we want
fucking
to
go on.
do we want to break this down?
No,
I think we might need to break this down.
Fuck no.
Are there any
Josh.
other naked men
enough.
that you get hard over, or
I'm
just you?
hitting the gavel. Let's go.
You're
Do
hitting
you,
the gavel.
do you go home and have like a cutout of a dude's face that you stand in front of so that it's his face on your body?
No, I've got a river body, bro. So
And then
I'm good.
you just fap to that.
Nah.
You're just like, yeah.
So
I've
when
got a
someone
good body, man.
Is it Zac Efron? Have you got Zac Efron's face over your body? Because then you're like, oh my God, his face is gorgeous, but my body is perfect. So you amalgamate the two and you're in fucking sweet, sweet fat.
when someone tells you to go fuck yourself, do you get like half a chub?
You're like, I'm doing that later.
Oh, I might go home and just do that. Actually,
He doesn't even know. He just gets genuinely concerned. He's like, have you been to my house? Are you what? Have you seen me?
All I can think is Blue Mountain Estate, the main character, the blonde dude that like he's a character's ditzy.
I've never watched
that.
Oh my God.
Estate.
Blue Mountain.
Blue Mountain State. I've never watched.
Blue
it.
Mountain
Man.
State.
Yeah.
What is that about?
Man, you need to watch it. It's
Is it like
about a
some-
frat
It's
house.
like a college thing. Yeah.
yeah,
yeah.
college
Oh,
footy
is it
frat
like
house.
it's like American frat house thing?
It's fucking
Is it like
hilarious.
reality TV or
No,
is
it's,
it?
it's just great. Just watch it.
All right. Next step in the
That's what
progression.
they said about RuPaul's Drag Race, man.
Step 3 of the progression. Right. M.I.A, British rapper, pump up song. Do you have a pump up song? Next step in the progression. What do you use to get yourself up and about on those cold morning hunts?
I'm glad you put about on the end of that sentence.
Josh uses himself to get up.
On this cold
I
morning.
generally need a pair of breasts involved. Now,
Yeah.
coming into winter, it's pretty friggin' hard to get up pre-dawn when it's freezing.
No,
So
the
what
thought
do
of
you
deer.
use to motivate yourself?
The thought of hunting deer.
That's all you need?
I can't do this.
That and some hand warmers.
No, I don't even do that. So I'm like a jump in the deep end, do it all or do nothing. So when it's cold, I mean, normally I've got my thermals on and whatnot anyway, but there's like that procrastination that kicks in, and then it's
5 more minutes.
just 5 more minutes.
5 more minutes in this
Yeah.
warm bed.
But then I just go, you know what, fuck it, and I just throw the sleeping bag off, throw the clothes off, like get shockingly cold, and then get ready. Like just
I disagree with you.
Oh, I didn't do that. I
Having
definitely-
seen you in action,
No, that's not.
you will sleep in your clothes, including your boots,
And the
so
blood.
that you just have to get out of a sleeping bag.
That's true. That is true. I'm not going to disagree with you there. I'm talking about not like changing the clothes, but getting out of bed to go do stuff. Like I'm not talking about stripping down to the nut or whatever, but preparing. The last trip that we went, on, I backpacked a carcass out and then went to bed in those clothes.
Yeah, well, you got no other clothes.
No, I had other clothes. I just couldn't be fucked changing.
I always carry with me fucking track pants actually to go to sleep.
Well, that's the first trip that I have ever had. Not that I've ever had, but the first trip where I've added to my pack an extra pair of clothes because I knew it was going to be cold and wet, and jizz, just so much jizz everywhere. But I didn't anticipate it being me covered in blood. That would be the reason that I had to change my pants to get into Caleb's work car to go in to get some beverages to the local pub.
Well, that's beside the point. How are you motivating yourself in the morning to get up? It's freezing fucking cold.
Definitely missed that.
How are you getting up?
All of that.
How are you getting up? Motivating yourself to get up. Is it just the thought of a deer? Because it's cold and you might not get one.
Look, I've got to put this in context because if you, like the first few nights, that motivation for deer is like cracking, but like typically you'll get up like super early, you'll go to bed pretty late generally, and you'll do that for a few days. And then like the third, fourth night, you get into bed, it's that cold, you're that tired, you wake up the next morning and you're like, nah, fuck it, today I'll just have a fucking sleep in.
Yeah. And that's the day the deer are there.
Probably, but
No, for me it's about preparation. So if I go to bed with the mindset of I'm going to get up early, like no excuses, I'm going to get up early and I'm going to do it and I'm going to make it happen, then, and that's like the night before, I'll say to you, oh, fuck, I'm not going out with you, eh? Like if you're going to go in the morning, I'm just not. So it's about preparing yourself beforehand, like the night before, to be ready to get out. Because the way that it works when you sleep is your brain goes back to the same thought pattern that you had before you went to sleep. That's why most of the time when you wake up in the morning, your thought patterns and the way that your brain works in the first couple of hours.
I've got to piss. That's what I'm thinking about.
Yeah, no, I shit you not. This is science, brah.
Actually, I got just quickly, I want to chuck it out to our listeners. If you have a little ritual that you do that motivates you to get your fucking ass out of bed when it's freezing cold and early, send us a bit of a couple of paragraphs or something like that. Over on
It's very interesting you use the word ritual just then, Josh.
I don't want to read a fucking
Because-
paragraph.
No.
If we have
Just send us what
if
you
we have
fucking
20
do on
people
Instagram.
sending us a paragraph, next minute we're reading a fucking novel.
200 characters or less. And let's be honest, I'm the only one reading this shit. So
Caleb has to read a
send me
novel.
Send me a fucking novel. But anyway, interesting you say ritual, because what I have found is if you set up with a little ritual or an order or a sequence of things to do,
Morning routine.
morning routine, it is actually easier
Yeah,
to
fucking
get up. So I will lay out the coffee sachet with the jet boil, with the water, with my boots and everything I need to get up and get out in an order. So then I just tick each one off, and there's the thought of I get up. It's easy to make a coffee. I just have to like literally sit up in my sleeping bag.
That's the thing,
Turn the jet boil on.
Preparing yourself the night before.
You can do it
That's
in
what I
your
said.
sleeping bag, and that's the best
Yes.
thing. You can just stick it all next to you, and then you're still warm, and you can enjoy a coffee to wake
While
yourself
you're
up
still warm.
whilst you're still warm.
And then you get out. Then you freeze your nuts off,
Yeah.
putting your pants on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Because I can't sleep with clothes on.
that's really that's what I want to hear from our listeners. Like, what's your morning routine? Yeah,
That's a fair point. I don't think I even have a morning routine.
do you have a
my
night
routine
routine?
is my routine is like just do what I do until you guys yell at me for being too late.
Too late or slow. Actually, this comes down to a funny thing because I also have a night routine, right? So a routine that I go through every night, and you both will be accustomed to this because I will pommy wash at night, and I will brush
For those
my teeth
playing at
and all this.
home, what's a pommy wash?
Oh, for fuck's sake!
No, some
It's a
people
bird
don't know,
bath.
man.
It's a fucking bird bath, all right?
Well, that doesn't narrow it down. What do you get a bucket of water out and then you like
just
dive into it?
Little pot or whatever you can and splash yourself under the arms, on your face with water.
So use a cloth.
Bit of soap, fucking some baby wipes, whatever, fucking
So you wipe yourself down. That's
talc
pretty
powder.
much it.
Yeah, pretty much. And then but a big part of it, because obviously I wear contact lenses, so I brush my teeth, take my contact lenses out,
It's not
take
that obvious.
my medications that I need to take, so my pain, like if you're having painkillers or whatever,
Vitamins.
vitamins.
Sounds
stuff
like
that.
an average night in nursing home, to be honest.
Yeah.
Guys
And-
obviously
but then I'll piss immediately before bed. But I wear track pants. So in the army, you had to sleep a lot of the time in your boots and your gear to go. So you'd never actually get to a full deep cycle of sleep because you were going to bed thinking about you're going to have to get up at any time.
You got to be ready.
So I now put my track pants on, and that's like almost a fucking
It's a psychological trigger so that you can relax.
So I can then go, okay, I can fucking sleep tonight.
Yeah.
It's
So-
weird as fuck, but it works. Like dead set, it works.
So if you accidentally put your camo pants on and went to bed, does that mean you sleep in a state of readiness?
I think it's more about wearing my boots, man. But yes, like the nights that I've gone to bed wearing like my hunting clothes, I have a fucking shit night's sleep. A fucking terrible night's sleep, man.
But comfort is key there. Like I've found, and I made this comment when Caleb and I were away. The gear that you have makes a huge difference. The older that you get, about like that line of comfortability. If you can find the small comforts in the gear that you have, it makes a huge difference in how good a sleep you have, which is also in turn how tired you will be, how relaxed you are, like the enjoyment that you get out of being in the harsh environment is accentuated by the quality of gear that you have.
Yeah, the creature comforts.
And it can make you hunt longer and harder if you just have a few of those little, which takes some like creature comforts, but it takes some time to get to know what is worth packing, is vital to pack.
Oh, absolutely.
And for me, one of those things is track pants, man. It's fucking stupid, but it's track
Yeah.
pants.
That makes sense.
And I'll make the extra room in my sleeping bag to make sure that they're dry. And you know what? They smell kind of okay, like better than your
Yeah,
fucking 3-day-old pants, And I'll have bed socks as well.
Yeah.
Fucking
For me, the learning curve out of this, like, so every trip that we go on, or I go on, every trip, it becomes an added experience that you have that you can, you change your pack.
Yeah,
You should be changing your pack. Unless you've got your pack perfect, you should be
You should
adjusting.
be refining it.
You should refine it every trip. So every trip you should be able to,
you got to pack to your season, but yes.
But that's what I mean, though. Like that's what I mean. So you know where you're going, the terrain that you're going to hit. You know exactly what you're going to do, and that comes from experience. The experience that you have,
Bloody oath.
is what defines what you carry in your pack. So, yeah. Anyway,
I just want
we're
to add
digressing.
one thing. What's this got to do with missing in action?
What?
It's a huge digression.
I went on the progression with you. M.I.A.
No, this
the
is
rapper.
the long bow that you always draw.
Because I knew you two were going to talk about missing people or missing things.
No,
So
you've
I'm like,
literally just like given us like 3 words and then
How do you go from
We've crapped
MIA
on.
to what is your routine? What the fuck is that?
What is it? Where's your link? Or have we got an ND? Have we
Yeah,
got an ND?
Caleb's ND.
Caleb's the ND.
MIA. What is
There is no link to MIA.
anyone listening to this right now?
You've just said
will have-
a rapper's name is MIA. What
You
the
used a rapper as a segue to get to the point of your topic.
yes,
No,
because no,
we're drawing a line, man.
fuck you.
Nah, you've got to bring the apology cake next week.
No, I can do this.
Fuck you. Fuck you.
No, I'm going to recap right now. M.I.A. is a rapper. She has a song called Bad Girls, which a person I used to work with played
Was a bad
every
girl.
time she wanted a pump up. So then I've asked you, what's your pump up song? Then I've gone, the next progression, what pumps you up, gets you going on those cold mornings to hunt?
There is no link to M.I.A.
Logical projection. Progression. Logical
But
progression.
from that you could also say, like, what's your pump up to get out of bed in the morning? And once you're out of bed in the morning, what's the first thing that you like to do? And then from the first thing that you like to do out of bed while you're camping, what's the first thing that you like to do out of bed when you're at home? And once you're out of bed, after doing that first thing, what's your second thing? Is that to make a coffee? What kind of coffee do you like? How many sugars do you have in your coffee? Where does the sugar come from?
From a dude in Ethiopia that is now M.I.A.
I'm sorry for promoting some unique discussion.
You got to stop with the long bows, man.
Hey, I think it works. I think most people out there will
Oh
be
no,
following.
it works. It's just like, where do you draw the line there, though?
Yeah,
I mean, we could go from like M.I.A. to Norwegian politics. That's just, probably there's a lot of them that have gone MIA.
The red light
that's probably
district in
not a
fucking-
bad- not
I
a
know
good
for a fact,
example.
Josh has totally done one of these weird progressions where we've just said a random topic and he's gone, oh, that got me thinking about this. Like,
I mean, it's the interpretation, but
There's no link to
there's got to be some sort of connection that's not, it's not involving rapids.
pump up songs, pumped up in the morning when it's cold.
Pump
Get
up the
hunted.
jam.
I'd like to know how your mind works, actually.
I think we know there's just a solid line of regression. Regression? Digression.
Sorry, maybe there's just some pent up hatred towards my former colleague.
That's definitely
who used to
what it
play
is.
this song all the time.
You know, the psychology
That's probably what
behind
it is.
this.
I have a stronger connection with MIA, the rapper, than you do because of this pent up hate. Maybe I just needed. Maybe this was just
the connection.
You
maybe
just needed an event.
Maybe I just needed to exercise the demons and
You just did. You need to pray it away.
This has been therapeutic for me.
The power of Christ compels you.
I feel better about myself now.
Well, I'm glad that we can help you from
That's
that.
all that matters.
Oh, shit, son.
Let's move on to an actual ND.
All right.
Who's got ND? You've got ND, Josh.
Yes, I do.
Hit us up. What is your ND?
So on the weekend, I went out to the local, one of the local shotgun ranges here in South Australia. It's just down the road on Waterloo Corner Road. Anyway, we went out with a few mates, and I took my dad as well. Old Poida. Poida.
Shout out to the Poida man.
Poida is going to be the ND this week.
Again.
So-
Poida,
Yeah.
Poida is the ND or something Poida did?
Look, it's
repeat offender.
It's something, it's something that he did. So anyway,
Hey,
we're on
hey.
this.
Can I just make you pause for a second there?
Sorry.
ND.
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 Negligent discharge. I feel like you guys have sort of regressed since I've been gone.
He's not on par tonight, is
Look,
he?
we didn't do an ND last week. We had a special guest.
He's been vacant. He
You
has a
just-
vacant look
The
on
long
him.
bows, the
Yeah.
missing of the intro button. Just
I mean, these
I
paws of
feel like
Porter
you
quite
guys have
big.
dropped. I've been away from.
I can
a little
hear
bit.
myself slurring slightly as
You-
well. It's not good.
Caleb and I went to the pub before this.
That's right. Well,
Yes.
yeah.
So we've been at the pub and now we've come home and drank
Drank,
drunken many things.
Wow, I am glad this is being recorded
I
because
feel like this is
want
the
to.
first time I've heard myself do this. It is, it's not good.
I want to play this repetitively.
you do. I can hear myself slurring.
Anyway, ND Poida.
Anyway.
What's he done?
So at the
he
the
gone and
shoddy
done?
range, what we were doing was it's like a 5 stand. So there's 5 stands. It's all automated clays, and there was 5 of us. There was actually Hayden, Richard, my dad, Jacob, and myself. And you're like all standing in this line, and there's a bunker in front of you, and this clay thrower that has a 45-degree sort of swing, and it shoots the clay at any point of that 45 when you say pull, and it's voice automated. Anyway, we're going through a few rounds, and then suddenly, like, come Dad's turn, he's smashing these clays. Like, it's fucking ridiculous, man. He's like, boom, he shoots it, and then, like, it's split into 2, and he shoots it again. But then that wasn't the bad thing. That was actually quite clever and impressive. I look at him while he's doing this, and he dismounts the shotgun, and he's shaking his head. And I'm like, why are you shaking your head? Like, and why did you shoot twice? Like, you shot it once, you hit it, just fucking, you don't get extra points. for
So
shooting
he
it.
shot the same clay twice.
Yeah. And this was like 7 rounds in a row, man. This is fucking terrible. Anyway,
Well, hang on. Let's just make sure that we're getting this right. So he would shoot the clay, it'd split in two, and then he'd shoot the half.
That the bigger bit that had broken off, he'd shoot that because and
more than once.
More than once, and he was doing this. But the thing that you're missing is he was dismounting the shotgun and shaking his head as if he had missed it. And I was like, and you could hear him. He was like, "Oh, no good. Oh, fuck." Anyway, I'd then look at him. No, wait, this is a real ND. I'd then look at him and this clay, he'd be like, "Paul," this clay would fling out, boom, boom. It'd be like a semi-automatic going off, mate. It'd be like, boom, boom. He'd miss it, and then he would be like his body language and his whispering to himself was like, "Fuck yeah," as if he hit it. It wasn't until after that I've walked up to him, I've realised this process, and everyone in the line has realised. Richard, Hayden, fucking Jacob, myself, we're all like, "What is this guy doing?" I've walked up to me old man. I'm like, "Hey, Dad, you realise that
Oh, no.
you're hitting the clays and you're thinking you're missing them, and then when you miss them, you're thinking you're hitting them. You fucking idiot."
How? Is he just looking at someone else's or?
I asked him, I'm like, "Should you be wearing your glasses?" He's like, "Yeah, probably." Oh, mate.
What the heck?
It's one of those things, yeah, you definitely got to be there and you just end up wetting your pants.
So he just
after
can't
that.
see the fucking thing, and he's like just doesn't know what's
Man,
actually happening.
I don't know what is. I think he had a stroke or something. I don't know. But he did very, very well, and kudos to my old man. Love him. He let me borrow his shotgun, and he actually used Richard's side by side, and he actually started humming with it. He started doing very well, but he started doing very well. But in his mind, he was doing shit.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, dear.
Classic Poida.
That is classic Poida.
Yeah, definitely. Having said that, had a ripper time.
That's the main thing.
Shotgun. Shooting shotgun like clays is so much fun.
It is.
And for those, if you're listening to this podcast and this is the first one you've listened to, just fucking go clay shooting. Just do it. You get hooked.
It's a good way to introduce shooters, new shooters to the sport,
Absolutely.
or people that don't shoot.
Everyone that I have ever taken out, like the first thing that once the shooting topic comes up, like, "Oh, you're a shooter, you're a hunter," or whatever this associate. The first thing I say is, "We're going to go fucking clay shooting, shotgun shooting." There is something just fucking entertaining.
Well, I've seen you and Joel take many people.
Oh shit! It's what we do. Like that's our community. Like we all of our mates that. Because we want as many people to get into shooting as we possibly can. And shout out to Joel, the big man.
What's up, Joel?
J-Dog.
Does he even listen to this?
No, he does. He fucking religiously listens.
Hey,
does.
Joel, how you going,
Yeah,
man?
man. Joel's a champion. He's just a legend, an absolute legend of a bloke. But no, we go out, we take guys shooting, and the first thing we do is put a shotgun in their hand, throw a couple of clays.
Couple of crays.
Just
Gets
A
expensive.
couple of $80 crays.
Yeah. But they got to pay for it. So
No, but it's instant gratification. That's why.
It is, and that's
people
why.
like
Well,
it.
Yeah.
not
Compared to hunting.
If you can hit the clay, it's instant gratification.
Yeah, but after a session, you're gonna hit a clay. Let's be honest.
It takes a little
You
bit.
have to be a complete.
Can I put a cheeky punt on this and
Under
we'll,
the correct-
we'll go to the shotgun range
under the
and I'll
correct
see if you hit me.
tutelage.
Eventually,
The average
if you take
potato
someone
off
out,
the street should be able to hit a clay.
if you take someone out on the range for a day clay shooting, they will hit a clay.
Yeah, for
like
sure.
that's that moment though when it's that because
What if
it's,
he's got no arms?
well then you are literally taking a potato, aren't you? That's
And you're the potato.
you're the potato. You're the spud.
Spud.
No, if you take someone shooting, it's that moment when they do hit the clay that
Yeah, it's good.
that's the moment where like you get excited, you're like fuck yeah, you nailed that because they're shooting high, they're shooting low, or they're not shouldering the rifle properly, and you're teaching them how to do this stuff, and then it all comes together in one thing. You're like fuck, that was amazing.
I do think there's a fine line though, because you take I don't know like a wimpy kid or a female or something that hasn't shot before, and you're giving them a 12 gauge. Yeah, she's probably
but
going to
then, like,
hurt them properly if you
picking-
don't have the right tutelage.
Picking your rounds as well. So I always in my gun safe, I have a box of shells that have a slower feet per second than your standard round.
Yeah, I'll get you.
So I will take them for the newbies because there's not as much
28 grains or
kitch.
something, yeah.
Kitch. I can hear myself slurring.
How am I the sober one tonight?
I don't know about you two, but there's something different about the port tonight. It tastes different.
No, that's just the hypnol that we put in your cup.
With Roy,
Well,
Oh, shit. I mean, I put some in my cup too, so it's delicious.
no, it does.
No, man, look at the shotgun. Delicious. Anyway, what we're going to do is we're going to wrap this up. We're going to go to next week, which is hit or miss. Hit or miss?
Hit and miss.
Hit and miss. Hit and miss, I think is what it is that I'm
Hit
trying to
and
say
miss.
here.
Because you generally don't hit and miss.
Actually,
Hit or miss.
Hit or miss.
actually,
Oh, it's hit and miss.
What, Joshua?
I can think of some things
What can you think of?
That you've hit or
that you've
missed.
hit and missed.
Hit and missed
Yeah,
in the one motion.
think about it.
What?
But we're going to blow your mind next week.
I don't know what you're
I
referring
have
to.
no idea what you're. There's got to be an innuendo in. There's definitely innuendo.
Well, I'm not going to give next week.
Yeah, but I can see by the look on your face, you got a cheeky little smile. You're like, I know what you hit and what you missed. It's definitely got to be you. Something to do with.
His synapses are firing.
Jerking off.
Look at them.
My neurological pathways are fucking.
I can have an orgasm without coming. That's a
Mental
hit and miss, isn't
masturbation.
Fuck, we've dribbled on enough.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it has been good to be back. Thank you very much for listening. We are
welcome back,
Send It Mate.
Ryan.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys. I appreciate the fact that you told my stories without me present.
What else are we going to talk about? We just hung shit on you, by the way, as well. So you better listen back.
I will. I can appreciate that. Ladies and gentlemen, hit us up next week. We're on Instagram, Send It Mate Podcast. Give us some feedback on the merch that you want. I'm Ryan.
I'm Josh.
I'm Caleb.
Peace, motherfuckers.
Catch you later, dude and dudettes.
Ryan has finally kicked that grinder habit.
G'day, dude and dudettes. Josh here. Do you find it hard to keep your long, hard barrels free from gun STDs? Maybe you need a clean out of your bore. If this is you, jump on over to highcaliber.com.au and use the promo code SENDITMATE to receive a 10% discount on all your gun cleaning needs. And remember, it's sexy to support Australian-made products. Everyone here at Send It Mate uses high caliber, and we can promise you that it'll keep your firearms free from those pesky gun STDs.